Hello Virgo, welcome to your reading for the 7th through to the 14th of March 2026. And it's going to be general, so please take what resonates and leave the rest for someone else. And let's welcome in the Archangels, Ascended Masters, Light Beings, Spirit Guides, our higher selves, and any animal, ancestral or dragon guides that may be assisting you at the moment. Virgo, let's see what's going to jump out here for the start. And we will begin. Okay, we have two flips here, and I'm just going to grab those. Knave of Wands, Knight of Wands, and Seven of Wands. Just bear with me for a moment, and I'm going to check that Knave. Okay, Virgo, that is the Knave is the Page. Just had to double check that. Yeah, so Page of Wands and the Seven of Wands to start. I think this might be to do with, they're both fire there. So this is something that's, I guess, something that you're passionate about, and perhaps you are mixing with other people that sort of are of like mind. So it could be just sort of to do with the workplace or family. And it's sort of looking like there's something here where you've had to, a situation here where you've had to hold your ground over something. Maybe there's a decision or something or other. And yeah, you've been, quite passionate about it, about this, whatever it is that you're sort of defending or trying to make clear, or it could even be that you are wanting to, I guess, do things in a particular way, or that you feel would better the business or the family or whatever, or your friend group or the project or whatever it is moving forward. And maybe you've had to kind of go out on a limb a little bit with someone or something about a situation. Okay, you had to kind of really fire yourself up a bit over this. Right, so we're just going to grab a couple more cards here. Wow, Seven of Wands again. Okay. And underneath your reading here, you've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. So there's earth. So you have earth and fire. Okay, those elements go quite well together. And yeah, I feel like there's something about this collaborative energy once again coming up, and it's sort of creative. And it's like you're also the one that's kind of has the big picture in mind, and you're kind of making the plans and taking the steps. So it's interesting that what's presented here is that you're presenting with a page energy. So it's you're kind of jumping in, or you're defending in a passionate way. Your higher self here is suggesting for you to take a Knight of Pentacles approach, which is perhaps more grounded, so more centered in yourself. And it is a little bit more, it's slightly more authoritative than the page. Okay, so it's saying for you to have a big picture approach here, and to I guess make clear in this collaborative group situation what you see are the steps of the plan, or how you see this project coming together, or what you think is going to be in the best interests of everyone and your view on things. Okay. Now, it's not that we have to decide. I'm not suggesting that you decide for other people what they should be doing with their lives. That's not what we're talking about here. It's that with regard to this project that you're all working on together, or this work situation, it's that you have a pretty good handle on things, on what the steps are, and I think it's also in here, Spirit's sort of saying for you to trust that. That if you present the information and or your ideas in a certain way, it's that people will, you know, people will listen. Okay. You're very focused on a project at this time. And not only that, but you have the Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Wands here with the King of Pentacles. So at the start, you have the Page of Wands with the Seven of Wands. Now you have the King. So you're moving up. Just recently, maybe you've just kind of hit on this King of Pentacles, where maybe you're kind of realizing, Virgo, because this is kind of you, Earth sign, right? That you have this ability to oversee something like that's quite big, or like a big concern. Maybe it's a work situation, a project, you know, a community group or something like that, or even family. Okay. And it's like you do, I think at the moment it's like this, you kind of, it's almost like a fighting, or it's like you're putting a lot of effort into making this, into realizing this about yourself, but also into helping others to realize it. But, you know, I mean, it could be more about you fighting off your ego that's sort of saying, you know, well, you can't do this. You know, or that you don't have what it takes to oversee this thing. Because in your hopes here, you have the Empress and the Lovers. And I think this is, you know, you're hoping, I think, for an abundant view of yourself. I think you're hoping to bring your masculine and feminine aspects together, but also to be on the same side as your higher self. So you may be feeling at the moment, Virgo, that there are times where your ego and your higher self are kind of at odds with each other. It's like you can go from, you know, like a page energy here, feeling like you have to be the initiator, and then you're also stepping into these other modes of like, well, hang on, now I'm the supervisor, and well, actual fact, I could be the boss. Or it's like you're feeling within yourself that you are the boss. And when I'm saying that, I'm not saying you're bossy. I'm saying you have a lot of abilities, skills and talents sort of that maybe you're not using all of your skills and talents at the moment. Or maybe you've just stepped into that. Maybe you've just realized that. And maybe you've come out on top here. Maybe you've been successful in fending off your own egoic attacks, sort of saying that, you know, that the ego is trying to keep you in your place and saying, well, you know, no, you can't rise above this, you know, you can't take control, you can't oversee it and all that. But whereas you were saying, well, yeah, I actually can. You actually can, and you're also, yeah. Let's have a look at your outcome. Possible outcomes. Wow, infinite self-realization. Okay, this is I think what you're moving into here, Virgo, is a greater depth of self-realization. Because I get this feeling that you're moving from, the page is like an inner child mode. So you're moving through inner child, and that's not a bad thing. It's like you are experiencing all these different facets of yourself. Your inner child, your ability to supervise, to get the plans, to get things done, aka the Knight. I mean, the Knights get things done, right? The Page has the passion, the Knights get things done, and the King is like, got the big picture, okay, Virgo. And I think you realize that you can be in all those modes, which is pretty freaking cool. Self-realization. Okay, there's more to self-realization than just that, but this is what's coming out in the reading at the moment. 10 of activations, which is the 10 of swords. So I think, once again, a bit similar to Taurus, that you are in this process of transitioning into a new way of being. And I think it's going to be leading to your abundance here. Okay. Interesting is that you've got the King of Pentacles and the Empress. These are both earth energies, as are you, Virgo. And this is also about masculine and feminine energy, which is what we mentioned with the Lovers there as well. Masculine and feminine. So I think you're also acknowledging those aspects of yourself within your soul and bringing that into your self-realization, bring those energies in as well. Whispers of the Universe, Six of Swords. This is interesting, which is also air. These two cards, possible outcome, are air. And this is about you moving into your higher consciousness, into using your mind, Virgo. I'm not saying you're not using it, but what I mean is you've got lots of fire and earth here. So maybe what you have been involved in is passionate, bringing things down into the physical. Whereas there might be a slight tweaking on that. Maybe you're going to be moving into the, you might still be doing a bit of that, but maybe you're going to bring in some more, like air work, some mind analyzing, some higher consciousness, ideas, insights. Maybe you're going to get downloads about how you can work in this situation in a higher frequency way, possibly. Six of Swords is about moving towards harmony, peace, balance, and Whispers of the Universe. You also have here, Virgo, this beautiful little indigo thing here, which is signifying a symbol of the brow chakra. So it means this is your intuition. So maybe you're going to be bringing some intuition in, or maybe realizing the depth of your intuition. Okay. Possible outcome. That's really nice. Possible outcomes there. Realizing that, you're realizing, Virgo, that your existence is not just about having the passion, inspiration, bringing it into the physical. It's also about your ability to use your intuition, use your higher mind, and to bring that in a really masterful way as well. Okay, if you're not doing that already, you could quite possibly be doing that. And then in the areas of the challenge, we have the Wheel of Life, or the Wheel of Fortune here, and the Ten of Pentacles. So, which is interesting because Ten of Pentacles is that earth energy. Okay. So, you may have difficulty at times realizing that, that this is a time for you to be creating your legacy, aka the Wheel of Life here. And this is about all of the zodiac signs. So this is like a really masterful energy, but also a sort of to do with past lives, kind of impacting your present, that kind of feel as well. And, maybe there are things about past life karma, all that are sort of, that could be posing challenges for you. So there could be some beliefs that you are holding on to from past lives. And we can be, yes, it could be beliefs from past lives, maybe past life traumas even, possibly, or past life experiences that have repeated for quite a number of lives, and that maybe you still feel that like you're influenced by that. And the interesting thing is too that as I'm looking at these cards, is that it's almost like your Knave of Wands here, your inner child activation. Maybe that was, or your passion to initiate things. Maybe that was a past life where we're in that energy a lot. Okay. You also have the Knight of Pentacles here, which is about your ability to get things done, to also kind of oversee others and to be on a mission and a project. Okay. That could also be an energy that you've been involved in. This one here is interesting because it's sort of to do with your sovereignty here, Virgo, and the challenges to that. And I think that maybe in past lives, there were lots of people that challenged your sovereignty. And it could have even been members of your own family. We're talking past lives now, okay? For some reason, the Egyptians are coming to mind. And, you know, they, and sometimes that could be sort of traumatic, okay? You know, there was lots of, as you know, like within royalty and all that sort of thing, there was a lot of, you know, there were a lot of people that kind of got killed because they were in different positions, and there was a lot of like watching your back and like, oh, who's going to do me in next and that kind of thing. So, and maybe you were one of these people that was in a position of authority, and maybe, you know, this is something specific coming through, could be relevant to someone, and maybe, you know, maybe you had doubts about that at the time, that were you doing the right thing, and maybe there were people coming at you saying, no, you're not doing the right thing, or you're incompetent or whatever. But it could have been that you were actually competent. You were competent, but it was just that they wanted your position. They wanted you to, they were trying to undermine you. God, I could have just used that word. So maybe you were a victim of undermining, okay, in the past. And that could be something that's, you know, if your Ten of Pentacles is feeling like a challenge, then maybe there's some sort of undermining that went on in a past life. And so you feel like a little bit fixed in that, you know, well, maybe I can't move into my sovereignty because if I do, someone's going to kill me. You know, like it's that kind of trauma. Or you can deeply believe over a number of lives that, you know, that you can't move into your sovereignty or being your true self. But this is what you're hoping for, Virgo. You're hoping to, yes, indeed, move into your true self here. This is almost a picture too of, you know, this is abundance, but it could also be your inner child, you know, and your adult self coming together. This is actually a pretty clever Empress card. I don't mind that. It's also about nurturing yourself. Okay, it can be symbolic of nurturing yourself. Also of accepting, nurturing and support from others. And here you are, you know, being a friend to yourself. But it's interesting that there's three figures in this too. And this is almost like these two people here are, you know, being, you know, their attempts at sort of connection. And this, you know, the Queen of Hearts here, so called, she is almost like this ego bit, you know, coming in. And so it can be like, this is your divine masculine and feminine here, Virgo, and this is your ego sort of trying to get in, or it could be that past life influence, that thing that's hanging over you. And yeah, it's looking like there might be some past life stuff that you might need to release. Let's look at your spirit guidance. You know, your possible outcomes here, though, Virgo, is, you know, what you're doing at the moment, or the way that you're moving forward is, you know, you're moving into a greater realization of your intuition, and you know, self-realization. This is what you're moving towards, or you're getting, maybe you're getting, you know, close. But self-realization, I think, is sort of like a lifelong thing. You know, I don't know that there's anyone who's ever completely self-realized, unless you're, I guess, you know, an ascended master or something like that, which you could be. You know, maybe you're nearly there. King of Fire, King of Wands again. Okay, I'll grab another one here and then one off the bottom. Wow, Magician. Okay, we'll have a look at these close up in a moment. And you also have the Queen of Fire on the bottom. Wow. Did we just talk about masculine and feminine coming together? Spirit's kind of going, guess what, Virgo? There's some quantum divine magic going on at the moment, because you have the King and Queen of Fire here. Fire is very transformative. It transmutes. So if we're talking past life stuff that's gone on, okay, for you, Virgo, Spirit's sort of saying you're probably going to be transmuting that. And not only that, but this is the Magician. You have the ability to do this. You have the ability to self-realize. It says here, you are ready. You have the resources or the ability to manifest them. Life is magical. Boom. Just got chills there, Virgo. You know, this is, yeah, realize you have the ability, you have the answers and the ability to manifest them, okay, which is another word for realizing, okay, kind of. or bringing into being, you know, it's like, yeah, who's now created that. And here you have the King of Wands, the Queen of Wands. Your king here, I'll just hold up the Queen while I read the king. It says motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. And it also says here, focus, focus, focus. Okay. Communicate with vision and be a leader. Advice from someone creative. Isn't that interesting? Because you had the, you know, this is a very creative card, Three of Pentacles. So this could indeed be someone that's kind of creative, that's, you know, suggest or helping you. And be a leader here. I think this is what you just stepped into, your own inner king here, Virgo. And, you know, be a leader, inspire, yeah, communicate with vision. And also this air energy here is also about communication, your outcomes here. Okay, these are also about communication. Very high frequency. I should just hold that up again. If you do want to just freeze the video and really look at these images, you know, it can be quite activating. Izzy Ivy has created this tarot deck. It's actually awesome. Called the Golden Age Tarot, I believe. Yeah, so, and this person is also on a dragon, okay, the king. So you may be, dragon guides, Spirit's also saying, you know, tap into dragon energy, especially if you're out in nature, tapping into that. Let's have a look at the Queen of Fire. I'm also just going to hold up the Magician while I read this. So the Queen of Fire is confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful, as you are, Virgo. Okay. And says stretch your wings and fly, which is what the Magician's doing here. Don't underestimate yourself. Maybe you doing that because we talked about this past life stuff that could be still hanging around. Don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence and creativity. Wow. Okay. These cards are kind of bang on for you at the moment, Virgo. Very empowering. A lot of fire. Spreading your wings. Taking flight, metaphorically. You know, you've got the skills and the resources. You're ready. Yeah. So if there's something, that an energy that you're wanting to move into, like more of a leader role, this is support, a confirmation of that. Okay. And that Spirit has your back here as well. Oh, this reading's, I don't know why my readings are going so long today. Right, was that on the bottom or the top? I think it was on the bottom. Let's grab it. Okay, Devil energy, which is, can also be Capricorn, but also about tenacity and hard work. Okay. And overcoming obstacles is the Devil. We did talk about past life stuff being obstacles potentially, if that resonates. Okay. Seven of Swords. Okay, doing stuff on the quiet, checking your information, being strategic. Okay, if using your strategies here, Virgo, particularly if you're, you know, looking into a leadership role, there might be some strategies that you need to fine tune. Wow, tickled by the free spirit, Muse. I think this is the full card in this deck. So this is about trusting yourself, believing in yourself, understanding that you have spirit backing and you have higher consciousness and you're guided and protected and assisted at all times, Virgo. Really beautiful card. It's really so cool. Yep. Believing in yourself is what that's about. And that you have the ability to move into all these modes. So you are creative. You're very highly creative, and you're also grounded. 10 of Air, also 10 of Swords. It does say at the bottom here, the end of a difficult situation. Boom. Embrace the change and expect things to get better now, and recovering from an addiction. So that could be why the Devil card has come up there. If there's something you've been addicted to or a habit that you've overcome recently, this is confirmation of, you know, you're on the right track, and to congratulate you for that. Yeah, end of a difficult situation. I also love this as unicorns here. So horses or unicorns could feel for you as like a, you know, animal spirit guides as well. You also have a little dragon here in this. These two people here are looking after a dragon or something to do with that dragon there. So, you know, and maybe they're guarding it. So maybe, you know, there's something about your higher self, Virgo, that you have been feeling as though you've had to guard it. But I feel like, here you are, you know, Seven of Wands. But I feel like there's something that you're going to release, and it could be as a result of this reading possibly, or as a result of seeing these images. Sometimes we just need something to be acknowledged for it to kind of bring up, and then we can just release it. So, you know, if that happens, fantastic. Yeah, so I look forward to your next reading. In the meantime, I hope that's been helpful, and yeah, in the meantime, have a great day, fantastic week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.